perfect storm.
It gets better every week, I swear. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 3 of Esports Canada TV, a very special episode indeed. My name is BSG Toaster. You can follow me at Twitter at QuinnOfTheNet. I'm joined by my co-hosts, ESC Songers, Nick Songers, and ESC Jovian, Franco Ricci. How you doing, guys?
Well, thanks. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Nick?
Great.
You know. I'm doing good. Thanks, guys.
Nick cleaned toilets all last night, so he's very depressed.
Yeah.
Guys, we have a very special show tonight. I'm not going to do the rundown of what we're going to talk about. I'm going to save that till just before the break because we have a very special guest tonight, and I believe most of you in the StarCraft community know who that is, and his name is CombatEx. And just a little preamble before I introduce CombatEx, I know that he is a polarizing character within the StarCraft community, but I just want to say that we were all there at the NASL Finals in Toronto, and so was CombatEx, not as a player or some sort of press pass or anything. He was just there as a viewer, and he was on his best behavior, to a lot of people's surprise. He had a little show match with Scarlet on the B stage off stream, and then he came to the after party where he had a show match against Rotterdam to see who was the all-time Protoss scrub, and we'll save that till later to tell you who it was. So we just kind of wanted to give him a try. We know he's kind of trying to turn things around right now and reinvent himself, maybe with a bit of a nicer sheen. So here to talk with us tonight is CombatEx. Combat, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here. I'm glad I can, help the esports community in Canada grow.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Thanks for being here.
Just to get started, Combat, I mean, this might not be necessary for everyone, but for those of you who are watching who don't really know CombatEx, if you just want to go and maybe introduce yourself and talk about how long you've been involved with the community and kind of how you got started both in esports and with StarCraft.
Alright, well, my name is CombatEx. You guys all know I started playing StarCraft. Well, I started playing StarCraft 1 back in grade, 4 or something, grade 5, so I don't know, 10 to 12 years ago. I started playing StarCraft 2 pretty much when it came out, and I've been playing ever since. Originally, I didn't play competitively, I just played for fun, and then later on I started getting a little more serious, just because, after time you get good at something. Originally, I started playing StarCraft with the mentality that I didn't really care about anything because it was just a game, and I played it as it was a game. And then later on, I realized, people are taking this very seriously. There's careers out of this and everything, and that's why my personality ended up biting me in the ass later on. And ever since then, I've kind of realized that what I did was obviously horrible, and I've been trying to make up for it. Granted, people still haven't fully accepted what I did, which is totally fine. I totally understand. I don't know if I would if I was in someone else's shoes, but yeah, just pretty much trying to clean up my image recently, and I think I've been doing a pretty good job at it. Most people these days, you don't really see posts about me anymore that don't really mention that CombatEx is getting to be a really good character. So I kind of like where things are going. It's a little slower than I thought, but you know what? It's all good. Right now I'm playing StarCraft 8 to 9 hours a day, just training really hard, trying to be the best, and we'll see where things take me.
Awesome. Now, I know you did try to kind of have a turnaround before. I remember there was a YouTube video you posted where you got a little teary-eyed. Was that kind of you just trolling in true CombatEx form, or was that you trying to actually make a turnaround?
Oh, no, of course not. I mean, the thing is, school is really, topsy-turvy, to put it in words, I guess. I don't know my schedule for the most part. Some days school is really hard, some term school is really easy. So at that time I was kind of sure that StarCraft, I'm not really getting anywhere with it. It's not really financially rewarding, and so I guess I'm gonna put it behind me. And at that point I was pretty much ready to put StarCraft behind me forever. And I was actually that was my thought. So I was serious in that video. However, this term, for example, I'm on co-op, I'm working in Ottawa, and I have literally nothing to do when I come home from work. So I'm this is a good opportunity to come back to StarCraft for 4 months and see how I can do when I'm actually playing StarCraft relatively full-time. And so, like I mentioned, my most recent YouTube video, well, not my most recent, one of my more recent videos, that I'll be coming back for 4 months, playing full-time, and trying to see if I can, be the best.
Awesome. Well, best of luck with all that. I noticed that you did start streaming as well. Are you going to begin streaming kind of more on a regular schedule? I know you said your schedule is kind of messed up, but when you do play, are you going to be streaming pretty much constantly?
No, to be honest, I literally only stream for my fans. Like, there's no reason other than that. Like, financially, it's not that great. I mean, like, I'm not allowed to revealing how much I make because that's some Twitch TV, like, partnership agreement.
Yep.
But, like, I only get around, like, 1,500 viewers at max when I'm streaming. So, yeah, obviously, for, like, some of you guys, it's a lot. But, like, financially, it's not the greatest for me. At least not what I want. Let's put it that way. And I also don't like streaming because the builds I'm doing are pretty much not, like, in the market, to put it slang. And, like, I don't like to do builds that are normal, so I don't, like, I actually hate when people copy my builds because they are unique. And so, that's another reason why I don't stream. So when I stream, I'm doing builds that I don't really like doing that are my primary builds, and I'm, like, essentially not trying my best just because I'm not, like, practicing. Yeah. So I only really stream for my fans, and hence I don't stream that often. But when I do, like, I don't know, I try to do it once a week. I post YouTube videos which are instructional, which I hope compensates for my lack of streaming. But, every now and then, whenever I find time to, dick around, I'll probably stream. Maybe, like, usually some weekend.
Cool. So what's been your kind of biggest moment, your biggest achievement so far, either in StarCraft or in esports? Do you play other games as well? Probably not as competitively as StarCraft.
To be honest, every game I've played, I've been at the top. I mean, like, I don't know if you can consider being at the top in RPG games. Like, in RuneScape, I was, like, level 120 back then, like, which was, like, the shit back then. I don't know what it is now. I played MapleStory, which was friggin' god. Yeah, I played, like, Gunbound, which I was sick at. Like, every game
those
I
are
played,
awesome games.
Yeah, like Neopets, or, like, all these games I played, they weren't, like, let's be honest here, I was young, young, fun, and full of something. And
Vinegar.
Yeah, Vinegar. And so, like, I just played a bunch of games that were, like, childish games, but I was pretty good at all of them. StarCraft is obviously the only one that I've done as competitively as I'm doing, and, yeah, like, it's the only real game I've, like, actually spent the most time on this game, obviously, than any other games. But I never really played it seriously before. Only recently, like, last year, I started playing it seriously. My biggest achievement in the StarCraft, I'm not one to compete in small tournaments, to be honest. Like, I don't know, my tournament winnings probably amount to, like, I don't know, at max, like, $2,000. Nothing really special, and that's over, like, 2 years. So, I don't know. It depends on how you want to quantify big achievements. My biggest tournament winnings was, like, $500 in the one tournament where I beat Dodoro, DDE, Ostigi, and, like, some other, and TT1. So all four of them in one tournament was kind of big for me.
Wow.
Otherwise, I guess, I don't know, achievements. Well, I think I had a show match with Chill in StarCraft 1. That was my first big achievement.
Yep.
I lost it, but, it was still an achievement because that was the first time I was actually ever known outside of people that was the first time I was, quote-unquote, a celebrity, where I knew people that didn't, or people knew me that I didn't know back. And so that was a big moment for me, I guess. I don't know, I've never really been serious about StarCraft till recently, so that's probably why I don't have any big, like, winnings or any sort of other big achievements. Yeah.
Cool. Now that you're kind of made your return, are you going to be playing more local tournaments or online tournaments at all, or are you just going to stick to kind of ladder and just try to get number one?
Not going to play tournaments just because I'm essentially trying to punish myself, where, not so much punish myself, it's more so, like, I don't know how to say this without sounding cocky, so I'm just going to say it. My builds are actually unique, and when I say unique, I mean, like, better than what's in the standard play right now. Like, with my builds, like, my PvP build, for example, is pretty much unbeatable. Like, I have essentially 98% win rate with it, and if I lose, it's just because, I don't know, I get proxy 2 or something, which, I usually do defend, I just don't sometimes. Regardless, what I'm trying to say is my builds are very unique to the point where I am, like, actually afraid of anyone seeing them. And I know on ladder, that's, like, probably the most laid-back practice people do, so if I beat someone on ladder with the build that I'm practicing, they're usually not going to read too much into it. But doing it in a tournament, they'll definitely read into it. And so I'm only going to compete in MLG Dallas, and that's where I'm going to, I don't know, I'm going to say this without sounding cocky, I'm going to win MLG Dallas, and hopefully when I do that, then I'll after that, like I'm pretty much retiring in December, so that's pretty much right after MLG Dallas. So I guess after then, I don't have any point in keeping my build secret. So then I'll reveal all my builds to the general public. And I also don't want to play in public or like random tournaments just because I am kind of trying to punish myself, where I'm telling myself MLG Dallas is the be all end all, because like I don't care about, like I'm not someone that plays StarCraft like as a full-time thing where like other programmers do. So I don't have to like financially support myself through StarCraft. I have other stuff to do that. And so I'm not really. Like, I'm trying to punish myself where it's like I'm going to only play in tournaments or only play in MLG because I don't want these, like, small winnings. Like, I used to play in, like, small tournaments and win. Like, I've never played in a tournament where I haven't came top 3. Granted, I haven't played in any big tournaments, but, like, I don't know, the winnings are so minor that it doesn't really matter. Like, what am I going to win, like, $50, $100 each every other tournament? Like, I don't know, it's not that great for me. MLG is where it's at.
Awesome. So early on in your, I guess, StarCraft career, you were banned from Team Liquid. And how has that affected your future as a professional gamer at all?
It's the biggest regret of my life. Not even through StarCraft, it's the biggest regret of my life. I've never, like, I live a pretty simple life. Nothing bad has happened in my life, but that is the biggest regret of my entire life. Getting banned from Team... The reason I got banned is a lot different than what most people think it is. Like, it's... I don't know how, like, I guess my persona is what made it really corrupt, but the reason I actually got banned was because I spammed in control one time to play me in a show match, and I did that, and I knew he was streaming, and that's why I kind of took advantage of the whole streaming process of how Team Liquid, like, advertise or shows their stuff, and so that's the primary reason I got banned from Team Liquid. Nothing to do with my personality or anything like that.
Right.
Then I don't know how that got twisted into, you know, I got banned for my personality, but that's essentially when I didn't play StarCraft seriously, when I still thought of it as a game and nothing else. And so, yeah, and then later on when I actually really wanted to be unbanned and be accepted by the community, you know, I couldn't because of Team Liquid as like the primary community. That's where all the community is, essentially. So, yeah, that was definitely a huge well, at the time, yeah, I was like, fuck it, I don't give a shit about Team Liquid, what the fuck are they? But then later on I realized, I'm like, wow, that was the biggest mistake of my life. And so, you know, I'm still, like, obviously I still hope to get unbanned. Like, do I have any, like, expectation to get unbanned? Not really. Like, I kind of did before, you know, doing, like, all these VODs and everything, like, to help support the community. But, I mean, like, more recently, I don't know, I kind of accepted that some of them are probably going to hate me for quite a while, which I guess it's understandable, but just because I've done some pretty stupid stuff. But, I don't know, yeah, it's definitely the biggest mistake I've ever made, and if I could take it back, I would any day. But, you know, sometimes you do some stuff and you gotta live with it, so that's definitely one of the things I gotta live with. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on that topic.
Awesome, thank you.
Combat, how was it playing Scarlet at NASL? I know you challenged her. You guys went up on the second stage there, and you garnered a huge crowd. You were causing all kinds of trouble for the Tribes booth in the back. How would you say it was playing against Scarlet?
I guess it's kind of not so much you guys look bad. I don't know how that rumor got around. We didn't have a show match. I guess on Reddit this is like the biggest like source of rumors that come around. Scarlet and me are practice partners. We practice like almost like every day. Like we play all the time. And so she's like, I'm going to be playing in a little bit. You want to help me practice? And I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And so, you know, it just so happened that the people that were free were the ones on the stage. People also wanted to watch me play. So I was just like, yeah, like I don't mind doing it. And so I was like, yeah, I helped her play, and we didn't really have a show match. We were just messing around, like we do it all the time. Like we're good friends. Like I have her on my friends list. You know, we talk all the time. Like you know, it wasn't a show match like or any grudge match or anything like that. We just wanted to play for fun and help her practice for the main tournament. So that's pretty much what happened. I mean, like, how was it? I guess it was good. I got smashed pretty badly, but yeah.
The greatest moment of that match was when I think you went to cannon off her third, and you were mid typing like Scarlet Easy, and you went to go press enter, and then she just like dominated the entire thing, and then you backspace and deleted it out of the chat, and then GG. It was great.
That was fun. All in good fun.
Yeah. Okay. So now we know the story behind that. Awesome. So a while back, as you said before, you released a series of YouTube videos doing tutorials, teaching people different builds. I told you at NASL that I found those videos actually really, really helpful. Are you going to be continuing anything like that, or are you going to be making any kind of new content with any new games you'll be playing?
You cut off really badly there,
Oh,
but thanks to this
sorry.
online script I have, and from the little I can make of what you said, I actually am pretty sure what you said. So I'm going to respond to what I think you said, and if you said something different, then you know what, you can just correct me after. But I still make them. I mean, like, I try to post one every week. I know it's not that frequent, but I mean, like, I don't know. I guess again, I'm only doing it for my fans. I'm not doing it for any other reason. I don't financially benefit. Like I do. Like I get like what like. I don't know if I'm allowed to reveal how much I get, but it's not as much as I want from the YouTube videos. And I mean, like, I don't obviously learn from them or anything because I make them. I don't really get anything out of it, really. And I also can't show you guys my actual builds because, again, I don't want them being revealed to the public. So I try, like, there's essentially no motivation besides my fans. And I also have so many haters that it also makes my motivation even less. But I try to do it every now and then. Hopefully, like, once every week or so. Yeah, I posted one, like, a few days ago, I think. So.
Right.
Yeah, I still try to do it whenever I find the time and courage, or not courage, motivation, I guess. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Is that what you asked?
Yeah, basically. And also just a little bit more, are you going to be posting any sort of new tutorials for any games that you will be playing in the future?
I don't plan to play any new games in the future. I mean, like, I was like already planning on quitting StarCraft. Well, I already did, and I came back, and I'm going to quit again.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe I'll come back to Heart of the Swarm when I have another co-op term. I'm not sure. Like, it all depends where life takes me. But
Sure.
like, if I'm going to play another game, it's going to be Heart of the Swarm. And then if I'm going to play another one after that, it's going to be the third expansion, whatever the hell that is. So,
Legacy of the Void.
there you go. Like, I don't really plan on playing anything but StarCraft. StarCraft's my life. Like, I love it. It's an amazing game.
Awesome. All right, thank you.
You say you've had these practice partners like Scarlett. Who else are you practicing with on a regular basis?
I try to have like one really good player for each race. I like to practice with Vile Illusion as Turan. I think he's the best Turan in North America. Him or Major. I practice with him sometimes, not as much. But Vile Illusion, I think, is the best Turan in North America just because he's really really good. Sorry about that. And as far as practice partners, I don't really need a protest practice partner. Like I said, I'm like, I know you guys are saying, okay, like I can name some. I've beaten Huck with it. My build, I have 2-0 Huck with my build. I've beaten like literally any Protoss that you could probably name inside North America. I have beaten with my build.
I need to know this build.
It's like, I'm seriously not kidding you. It's essentially unbeatable. And watch at MLG, I swear to God, I will not lose the PvP just because I am that confident that this build is literally unbeatable. The only thing that beats this build is the same build itself. Like, that's literally how you beat
Diamond
it.
cuts diamond.
Like, that's essentially how it is because, and no one knows the build because it's my build, so I literally don't lose with it on ladder. Like, I literally have 100% win rate with it besides the odd proxy gate or something like that. So, yeah, like, I don't need a PvP practice partner just because I'm confident that this, because, like, you know what, like, there's a difference between having practice. I just want to go off a little tangent.
Yep.
Practice partners are good because you can see how things play against each other. You can just practice your mechanics, all that stuff. But in the end, it comes down to a race against another race, right? And I'm a really, like, I don't know, I'm not intelligent, but I theory craft a lot. Like, most of my StarCraft training, not most of it, lots of my StarCraft training is literally sitting with a pencil and paper and thinking of builds and thinking of counters and thinking of reactions and all that stuff. Like, literally, like, a good, like, I would say if I train like 6-7 hours a day, literally like 1.5 hours of that would be sitting down, taking a pen, taking a paper, and writing down what builds I do, what reactions I make. And I'm not talking generic builds. I'm talking, okay, at the 7:35 mark, this is exactly when I should be sending my observer in to check for this, check for that. And if I see this, if I see that, how am I going to react? Like, there are to the second, like, calculations, right? And that's how I make all my builds. And so PvP, I've calculated practically every second of the match. Like, I can pretty much say I've calculated every second of the match. Like, that's why, like, I've thought of every possible counter, every possible build my opponent can do, literally everything my opponent can do. It doesn't matter who it is, right? Just because Protoss is Protoss, right? They're not gonna, like, I'm not gonna play hero who's gonna throw in a new unit. Like, it's gonna be all the same units, right? So, and micro doesn't matter because I'm really tempted to just say what the build is just because I want to, but I can't because it's gonna really hurt me.
Save it for MLG, man, and own with it.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so I've calculated like everything you can possibly do against it, and nothing beats it. Like, the hard counters that are supposed to beat it. The reason people shy away from the unit that magnifying on, or is because there's hard counters to it, but the hard counters are only so like timely. Screw it. It's a good build, and that's why I don't have to partners. Let's just leave it at that.
I can't wait for MLG Dallas now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited now. I want to see them.
Do you follow the scene outside of your own play a lot?
Oh yeah, of course. Are you kidding me? I watch I wouldn't say are you kidding me, but like I watch all the major tournaments. I read Reddit all the time. I'm pretty active in the community.
Yeah. Who are your 3 favorites? Maybe one for each race right now. North American or Korean or Europe.
Well,
Put you on the spot.
And you can't say yourself.
Yeah. I guess I'll have to do it. I'll do 2 versions. My non-Korean version favorites would be Scarlet as Zerg, Major as Turan, and CombatEx as well. Sorry, I have to. I don't know anything.
Fine.
Are you also going to win the Korean vote as well?
Are you gonna
No,
win?
I'm not winning the vote. I like Korean players the best.
He's also the best Korean Protoss.
No, and then including Koreans, my favorite Zerg player would be Dongre-gu. Not because of his theory, to be honest. I don't think he's that great in terms of theory crafting. I think his mechanics are just freaking godly. Like, this guy does literally never above like 25 energy, unless it's for a reason on his queens. Like, his mechanics are just insane. He's definitely my favorite Zerg player. My favorite Turan player, it used to be Marine King Prime, just because he's like me, where he theory crafts really good builds, and when you guys knew when he was at his peak, like, this guy was doing like mass Marines against like everything, and it was working. And like, he did some crazy patchy, made some crazy patchy builds, which were really cool, and so that's why I liked him a lot. But recently, I haven't really heard anything of him, so maybe I'm just not following as well. But recently, I would say my favorite Turan player is probably Amnesty, just because he's good. Like, I don't have like my off-race favorite players aren't really that like. I don't really put that much thought into them, just because I don't really watch their play all that much. I don't care about their play that much. I care about Protoss play because I'm a Protoss player. So my Protoss favorites are more meaningful. My favorite Protoss player that's like in the world, I guess, is MC. Just because he's like the Korean version of me, except less BM. That's primarily the reason. And he's also like really good. On top of that, he's also good at theory crafting. Like, he makes a lot of his own builds, and his builds are pretty damn crazy, actually. And I was so happy I met him on ASL, and he actually knew who I was. I was like, oh, man. It's the craziest thing. Like, when you're a fan of someone, they actually know who you are. I don't know if you guys have that feeling, but it's a fucking amazing feeling. Hold on one second.
Yep.
Did someone knock? Never mind. I think someone knocked in my room, but never mind. All right, yeah, let's keep going.
I just want to ask you a quick question. I don't mean to put you on the spot, and you don't have to give me numbers or anything, but you said you're really comfortable with PvP. How do you feel about PvT and PvZ?
My PvT is also very good. It's not unbeatable. I think my build, like, when I say unbeatable, I mean, like, assuming both players have the same mechanics, and both players have, like, you know, the same, like everything besides their builds. I would say that's when I consider an unbeatable build, when everything's the same besides, like, their builds and reactions and all that stuff. So obviously, if I play someone that's like beyond better than me in terms of APM, I'm pretty sure my PvP build might lose. But I've had to work on mechanics later on, so that's why I say it's unbeatable. My PvT is pretty strong too. The build, again, is very unique. It's very, I would say people do it a little bit more, just because it's PvT can only go so many builds. Like, you can only vary so much with your builds, but it's still like no one does it exactly the way I do it, and I don't know. It's good. Like, it's good. I managed to be like, when I train with Illusion, like, I would say he's probably the best Terran in North America. I managed to beat him like on a good 50-50 ratio. And yeah, so my PvT is pretty good. I don't see any weakness in it. My mechanics are really bad right now, so I lose a lot when I really shouldn't. But my theory is really good, so that's why I'm kind of happy with the build, or my PvT. My PvZ is. It's very unique. Just like my PvP, my PvZ is also very unique, where no one does the build I do, and it's nothing like anyone's ever seen. When I do it on ladder, people are like, dude, this is a cheese. And little did you know, I'm like a base ahead of them. So, like, it's really, like, you know, it's good. Like, I love it. Like, I'm really happy where I am in my StarCraft career in terms of my thought process and where I am in the metagame, because I feel like I'm very far ahead in the metagame. But when it comes to mechanics, I'm so far behind all the top players that it actually worries me sometimes to know if I'll ever actually catch up by the time like November 2nd comes around, just because I know I'm really behind in terms of mechanics compared to some of those top Koreans. And so that's a little bit what I'm worried about. But I guess in the end, I hope for wherever I get with my mechanics, I'll get with it, and then my theory should bring me, superior, hopefully. But yeah, like I'm really happy where I am in my career right now.
If you, when you make it to MLG Dallas, and let's just say hypothetically that you don't win, who's going to win? If you're going to lose in the finals, who's it going to be?
I've never considered losing, but if I'm serious. Like, okay, I don't know what you guys know. Like, no, it's not even talking.
Your car breaks down on the way to the airport, and you don't make it to Dallas. Who's going to take it?
I just want to go on a little tangent, just a little stuff. I know lots of people say that like that's a cocky mentality, but I feel like it might be a cocky mentality, but the thing is, if you're actually aiming to be the best in the world, you should never tell yourself that there is going to be someone better than you. That's the way I think. I'm a competitive wrestler too. Like I used to wrestle really competitively, and I got that mentality from my coach where he's like, if you're going to go in a match and think your opponent can beat you, there's no way you're going to win the tournament. Just because if you think that at every single opponent, you're eventually going to lose. Like you have to tell yourself you're going to be the best, and you are going to be the best. And I've convinced myself that I'm going to be the best. And so you know what? It might come off as cocky, but I don't kid when I say it, right? Like
Combat dropping the knowledge bombs.
Sorry, say it again.
He said dropping the knowledge bombs.
Yeah, that's the way it's at.
Okay,
then
to rephrase the question.
Going to your, yeah, I know what you mean. I'll go back to your question. Who would win? Let me see. Who do I think
or who will you beat in the finals? I guess.
That's a better question.
Good rephrasing.
That's a really good way to rephrase it. Who do I think would win if not for me? Honestly, like I'm not gonna lie, I don't know his name, but I saw this really sick streamer on Team Liquid. God, what was his name? Tier, FXO Tier or something like that. Man, that guy had the sickest mechanics I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't know if like he's famous or anything, but like, man, that guy, let's just say I've never seen better mechanics. He literally played like it was like perfect StarCraft in terms of mechanics. Like everything he was doing was perfect. He was off lining. Like his chrono boost was like never above like 30. This guy was like micro, macro, everything was freaking insane. Like I don't know how good his theory was because I wasn't really analyzing his play all that much. But man, like I would not be surprised if he just comes out and takes MLG. I don't know if he's competing or anything, but like I know he's not the biggest name or anything. But holy crap, was that guy good? He scared me. Like he was really good. I just turned out because like Team Liquid has a serious lack of protest featured streamers. So like whenever you find one that's half decent, you're like, oh my god, like thank God I can watch something. But yeah, like I would not be surprised if he took it. Someone more famous, I guess. I don't know. Scarlet. She's really good.
That's good.
Safe.
I'm just gonna retread over one thing real quick. I know obviously everyone knows about your history within Control and whatnot. You guys did finally have a show match off stream. The replays are readily available and whatnot. And I know you said it wasn't. Pardon?
The replays are the only games that he won, but anyways, yeah.
Okay. Yep. And I know that you took it like a champ and said, yes, he beat me, yes. But it wasn't your best play, and it was maybe some cheesy builds or whatnot. But shit happens. Is that the end of the In Control CombatEx drama?
I don't know how to say this without causing more drama, but I've always been one to just say my thoughts and not care what people think. It's definitely bitten me in the ass, but I feel like this is just one topic where I'm too. It's too personal to just like be like, what, let it go. I guess I'm just gonna say some facts out there and not any of my opinion. We had our show match when I was on a 6-month retirement, and I came back. And on the first week I was back, we had our show match. That's just a fact. Okay, I'm not putting any like opinion on that. I did my unbeatable build when it was in this like alpha stage, and I don't want to say this without causing drama, but
just say, is that going to be your last match, or do you plan on having another show match down the road when kind of you're at your peak?
I guess let's just put it this way: if I or when I win MLG, I guess that will just implicitly say that I'm better than Control, assuming he doesn't like win or something.
By proxy, you're better.
I think that like I don't know. I guess if he doesn't accept it at that point, then I would definitely be okay for having another show match. But if hypothetically I win MLG or do like really well at MLG, I think that'll just implicitly say that I'm better than him. My own opinion, do I think I'm better than him now? yes. And he's gonna say he's better than me, hence it's gonna cause drama. But whatever. Like, I think, if he wants to have another show match, I don't even want to have a show match, to be honest. I don't really care. I don't have anything to prove anymore. He's beaten me once. Clearly, he was better than me at that point in time, so I just don't want to call him out constantly, and, he's going to, start getting annoyed. So that's just kind of dumb. It's kind of childish. I was really childish, but I'm trying not to be anymore. So, I don't really have any urge to play him anymore, just because, I don't know, I feel like if I'm trying to be the best in the world, why am I going to be playing show matches against people that are not the best in the world, to put it nicely. So yeah, I guess that's just the end of the In Control CombatEx drama.
Cool.
Sadly, but yeah.
A couple questions from the chat here. Iotix asked about Scarlett. Recently gave a shout out to CombatEx when she won WCS. How good do you think she is in relation to foreign players?
I don't keep up too much with the European scene, so I'm not really sure how things go on there. People say European players are better. I don't know if I agree with that, but because I've played European players, I've played White Raw, I've played Undershio and a bunch of other players. I don't see any oh my god, they're so good. I feel like foreign players, yeah, I think right now she'd probably be the best. I think she's arguably she's the best player in the world right now. Definitely, very arguably. I'm really happy that she beat Hero, even though Hero's my second favorite protest in the world after MC. I'm really happy she beat him just because that really shows that Scarlett's up there with the Koreans. I think she's the best player in the world currently. Yeah, she's better than me right now. She stomps me just because her mechanics are amazing. Don't get me wrong, I've beaten her several times just because of my builds, nothing else. Her mechanics are beyond mine, without any control. But I think she's, I don't know, one of the best players in the world. Yeah, maybe the best.
Great. I'm gonna ask this, but don't spend too long on it. Alva Lanker asks, "Are you on good terms with Destiny?"
Yeah. Why wouldn't we be? I mean, we used to train quite a bit. I have him on Skype. I have one on StarCraft as a friend. Yeah, we're pretty good friends. Nothing why. I don't get why people think we wouldn't be.
Yeah, cool. So we had this written down, and I'm not going to try and wing it any better than it's written. So CombatEx is a name that causes confusion because everybody knows of him, but he isn't really represented around the community. If you could say one thing to set the record straight about CombatEx, what would it be?
Ooh. I'm not going to ask you to repeat that just because it was really long.
If you blacked out, I apologize.
Want to just TLDR and then...
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Can you just say it again in a short way?
If you could say one thing to set the record straight about CombatEx, what would it be?
Okay, honestly, I've posted instructional videos ever since StarCraft 1. I have over 400 videos on YouTube. Clearly, I would say I have a pretty good contribution to the community. I stream for entertainment. People say my stream is by far the most entertaining stream out there. So I try to provide knowledge in one aspect of my career and then entertainment in the other aspect. So I feel like I'm giving a pretty good contribution to the community. If others don't see it that way, that's perfectly fine. Everyone's going to have different opinions. But I think, I don't even remember what the question was, to be honest, but something about my appearance or my image or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. Did I answer your question, or should I keep going?
No, that's fine. You did good.
All right.
And you were right. 44 viewers.
That's what I'm talking about.
We were so close
Not
to 50.
supposed to talk numbers on stream, John.
I know. You're not supposed to talk pay numbers. People watching the VODs, we broke 4,000.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
If anyone watches this VOD, it was 4,000. All thanks to CombatEx. and maybe Nick.
Billion.
All right, well, I think that's all we have for you, CombatEx. Thank you so much for doing this, and I hope it was as pleasurable for you as it was for us. Are there any last words from you at all?
Not really. I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with how it went. I'm going to go back to training now, so I guess I'll see you guys around.
Yeah, can we follow you on Twitter or stream? Do you want to plug those at all?
Sure. Twitter is combat_x. Do you guys want to write it down, or yeah?
No, I have it on
We have
stream.
it on the stream.
Displayed there.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys have it on stream, so you guys can just all see it there. Definitely follow my stream. I stream every now and then. It's really freaking entertaining. I guarantee you it. And again, I don't get any benefit out of it, so really, like, I'm trying to entertain you guys when I'm streaming. Like, I'm trying to be funny. So my YouTube videos, I'm trying really hard to be instructional. You guys can vouch for me and how instructional they are. So yeah, just keep doing that, and try to support me because I need all the support I can get to get back in good terms on the community. So yeah, I'll see you guys then.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Peace.
Thanks so much.
All right, guys, that was our interview with CombatEx. We're going to be taking a quick 2-minute break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the HOTS beta, some Canadian news with some signings of some fabulous StarCraft 2 females. Frank's going to talk a little bit. If I can talk, we're going to make it through the show, I promise. Frank's going to talk a bit about Natural Selection 2, as well as some LOL drama that's going on, some Valve news.
If we have time, we'll do NS too, but the LOL stuff is more interesting.
Yeah, we're not going to get through all of this, or else the show would be 2 hours long, and no one wants to see that. Guys, we'll be right back with more of Esports Canada TV. Follow us on Twitter, esports_Canada, and at facebook.com/esportscanada. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back. Looks like I don't have to change the overlay. It actually looks fine. Fantastic. We were very worried during the break that I was going to have to scramble and change the overlay. But now,
it looks so professional now.
Now I don't. Now we just have like Tony's weird thing going on.
Yeah.
We just have a crying guy over CombatEx.
Frank, you'll be in both sides. Screw it, I'll just have to change them.
Awesome.
Guys, bear with us for 15 seconds while I change these.
Can you do it while we talk? That's alright, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should be alright.
Alright, so Frank.
So did you guys hear about this LOL exclusivity stuff that was happening?
Mm-hmm.
Nick, I don't think you did. I know John did, but he's busy.
I did. You told me about it.
Yeah, I did. So apparently there was these rumors going around. In Control apparently leaked it first, where he was saying that LOL or Riot was approaching teams and saying that they could only play League of Legends. I guess they couldn't branch out and play other. I'm assuming MOBAs were what they were trying to prevent them from playing. And then So it was like denied like crazy. It was released. It was confirmed by Sir Scoots on Live on 3 and on Wednesday, September 5th. And then after that point, Reddit was going crazy. Moderators were getting rid of those posts like Nazis, and it was all tried to be hush hush. But what do you think about that move that LoL made with this exclusivity? Bad move? Good move?
Bad move.
Mm.
I don't understand why.
I think
I
they're
can
trying
understand.
to secure.
Was the details actually released that it was strictly just other MOBAs, or was it other games completely?
I don't know. I can't
sure?
imagine. I can't imagine they would go to like EG and say, "Okay, stop playing StarCraft, stop playing Dota, stop playing all these other games.
Yeah,
You're just going to play LoL." I'm assuming they wanted to just curtail any MOBA competition. But yeah. So what do you think about that?
This might be a stupid question, but
Oh, it most definitely will be.
screw you guys. When you play, right? Is it like they can't play it professionally, or was it just like you're not allowed to touch other MOBAs, like even in your spare time?
The whole thing was so hushed. There's like so much controversy about it, so it's hard to.
That's like denying people the freedom. That's not what America's about.
Oh, but America's also about solidifying your assets, dude. And this is the way that they're going to be on top. So if you don't allow other people to play, then they can remain on top. They can stay on top of their throne. If they feel a threat from, let's say, Dota or, I don't know, Han or whatever, then I guess they can try to force you to play their game, or else maybe they'll pull support or something. I'm not sure.
Right, okay.
But I think it's a low move. I think it's not the right way to go, because now look at the flame that they're getting. Like, the community's a little outraged about this. I'm upset about it, even just to hear it. Like, to think that that's going on, that there's some strong arming going on in the industry is kind of a douche thing to know.
Yeah, did this come out right after the International, or was it kind of during or before?
Well, apparently In Control leaked it on the 4th of September, and Scoots confirmed it on the 5th, so early September.
I think it was after the International.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the International went until
interesting
or something.
That obviously, I mean, that had to have some play. I mean, they probably had this plan for a long time, but then seeing the International and seeing 500,000 plus viewers, I don't know. I'd be scared if I was with Riot and saw Dota doing that well.
Yeah, you're worried.
What I'm thinking is, if you want to be on top, then you just have to prove it with your game. These players should not want to play anything else because they love your game so much. But the way they did it was so underhanded and like dirty that now it actually tarnishes that game and makes it worse for them. So in my opinion, this move, whether it's confirmed true or not, although like I know Sir Scoot said it, but if it really did happen the way that we're understanding it and the way that we're reporting it, then I think it only serves to make it worse for them. Like, any chance of them being like this top dog seems to waver now, seems to waffle, if you will.
There's that word!
Good use.
Secret term that nobody knows because it's all new viewers today.
Yeah, Chosen One in the chat just said it's bad for esports altogether, and I think it is. And at this point, I mean, there's been kind of the flame wars on SE Reddit and League of Legends Reddit of who could get to more fans and whatnot. There's kind of that friendly competition, but at the same time, there's people who are just like, if you play League of Legends, you're worse than Hitler, and it's StarCraft only, and I'll murder your family. And you're just like, guys, like, why don't we just build up the entire esports community as a whole, and then we can hold hands and jump through a field together, play whatever
it's capitalism, dude. That's what it does to you.
No.
There can only be one Highlander.
There can only be one. But they're completely different games. I mean, it's something for everyone, right?
Exactly,
yeah. I know.
And if you want to be serious about gaming and play a real game, you choose StarCraft.
Oh, see, this
and
is how it starts,
and if you have a Mac and you just want to play a couple
hours,
look at
you sitting in your tower. You be quiet, you righteous.
That's right, Frank. Give me your speech. Give me your tower speech.
It's way more sense. It'll in real life when we meet at a bar next time. I'll give you the real speech.
Wow,
a lot of swear words. And
it is cold up here in my ivory tower.
Yeah.
Perplex in the chat says Dota is better than SC. We will have to wait and see.
Well, personal opinions. But even the difference between LoL and Dota, like, I know that they're both MOBAs, but in many ways you can... there's, like, so many differences, and I mean, I play Dota more than I play LoL, but I would say, in my personal opinion, LoL feels more like a little more casual, a little easier to get into, and Dota's a little more hardcore. So I mean, there's different gauges. Like you don't have to just say I love MOBAs, I only love this one MOBA. You can love them both, and you can appreciate them for what they try to do.
You know, like on the opposite side, how Valve actually treated, well, not treated, but just like ran Dota at their international tournaments, like almost like a totally different story. I watched the Live on 3 video between Sir Scoots, Slasher, and DJ Wheat, and they had 2GD who helped host the international just a couple weeks ago. And 2GD was just talking about how professional and how fast and efficient Valve was working and running this tournament.
Yeah.
But also while doing this, they never ever once promoted themselves as a company. It was all about the players. It was all about the games.
Yeah.
Like even the commentators. So as Harding said, in StarCraft, when we have the commentators, it's a head-on camera. Basically, you're looking at the commentators, and they're looking straight at you. They're talking directly to you, and it almost seems like they're the stars of the game. In the other sense, like in the international, every single shot of the commentators was from the side, and also they were talking towards their monitors, like they were talking towards the game.
They were off to the side.
Right, it helped you focus on the game more, and it just seems like a totally different approach than what.
Yeah, watching
like
watching it, I didn't even notice that, but now that you mention it, I knew that like something was off, and that was definitely it. It played out more like football coverage or something, where it's kind of five guys sitting around in a semicircle, chit-chatting with each other, and it's not just like the big giant head speaking to you dead on.
This is football. And they were all little subtle things, and even having the team banners up on the balcony, cool. They represented all the major teams that were there.
And the team banners just inside the game as well.
Yeah, everything. They did a lot of good things for esports. So I guess that's the difference that we're talking about between what LoL's move and Valve's move during the international. And they were selling the game, they were selling the people who play the game, and they weren't selling that, yo, go download Steam right now, go support Valve because we're awesome and stuff. Like, it wasn't about that. You never really, the only time you saw the Valve logo was like in the background with the giant Dota logos, and they were equally represented, and that was only in the background of the panel that went before and after games. Yeah,
that whole Too Good interview was awesome. It kind of blew me away after being in NASL and to MLG and kind of seeing how things ran, and then to hear his side of the story of, like, I arrived at the airport, there was a driver there, I was immediately delivered a schedule of exactly where I needed to be, I was never waiting around kind of wondering in the dark of what needed to be done, I had my meals provided to me, and when I woke up on the day to leave, my tickets were pushed under my door and they were already printed off, and there was a car waiting to take me to the airport, like... absolutely ridiculous. So good on Valve for that, and it's good to have another big player kind of in the game to compete and make it better, because a high tide raises all ships. Nick, what do you have to say?
Well, like, as you're saying like that, it's like it's almost like they're being treated like celebrities. And so one of the questions that we were talking about in the past week, like, is it right to have an all expenses paid affair for an event to treat the players like this? Like, should they be treated? Well, you know, Frank, you want to help me on?
Well, what I'm thinking, because I mean, it's awesome that all those things happen. And Too Good did mention, you know, all these things that were paid. Like, it was so easy for him. He was just caught in the flow of the international, and he didn't have to worry about anything. And that's one of the things he really enjoyed. So I think that's awesome, and good on Valve for doing that. What I'm wondering is, because he seemed to focus a lot on, like, the fact that it was an all expense paid situation. I mean, should that be the benchmark of good esports? Because how many people can actually support to, like, pay for that type of treatment? Because Too Good was saying it was like treating a football team. It was like these people were professional sports players, and that's what we want to get to, and I think that's awesome. But is that the benchmark that we need to get to? Because who can support that? Can small markets even support that type of treatment? And then are we going to get divas who go to these small events and be like, this is garbage, you guys don't even give me Perrier water, what is this? And then get all upset and stuff. So, I mean, I'm a little bit worried about that. I don't want this to turn into some, like, this posh thing where, you know, they have to have their hot towels in the morning, and, you know, where's their plane ticket? Why isn't there a driver? I mean, they're still people, and I hope that we get there where they're getting paid and treated like sports players. But
yeah, I mean, you're walking a tight line, and it's the same way with teams. I can't remember who said it a couple of weeks back, but we talked about it. The guy who said, you know, it's hard to make it as a team when you have to compete with the bigger teams, and you're trying to sign these larger players with the bigger salaries to actually go to these tournaments and win them, right? And you're doing the same thing with these large tournaments. If you're kind of setting the benchmark that you need to pay for hotels and drives and meals and everything needs to be all inclusive, you're kind of screwing over the smaller tournaments. I look at what was it? The one in Texas at the university. It was amazing. It was like one of the best lands.
Their StarCraft Association did it, right? Their StarCraft of the university did. I think Red Bull helped sponsor it as well.
Yeah, it was something Bull something. Someone in chat, please tell me what was the land in Texas.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody's got to know.
This completely is train wreck, Mike.
Lone Star, Texas.
Oh, Lone Star Clash.
No, I don't.
Lone Star Clash.
Yeah.
There's no way that they could have supported an all-inclusive event. And I'm sure there was some perks for the players, and maybe they got like a block of hotel rooms or something like that. I don't really know the background to it. But for them to try and throw that event and bring in players and everything, and that was one of the best tournaments of the year. That tournament was amazing. And they had some big names to it, and it was just like a college crew throwing that on. And you need things like that to happen to both grow these kind of smaller communities and to grow esports as a whole. So you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot by setting this benchmark of all-inclusiveness. But I mean, at the same time, it is nice for the players, and it gives them something to strive for. The young 15-year-old who wants to make it to that level where he can be pampered and have his mouse hand massaged as he goes to bed. It's definitely something you need in the scene, but there needs to be both sides, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's just the thing that I would rather like to focus on is the conscientiousness of what they did, how they cared about their players, and how they had itineraries and stuff. Like, all that's low cost and awesome for the players, and so those things would be great. But I don't really want to focus too much on how much they spent on the players. That's just my opinion, though. It'd be awesome to hear what people think in chat. But maybe now we should talk a little bit about some Canadian talk, some Canadian signing and Canadian players in the tournaments. How about it, guys?
Most definitely.
Yeah, so do you want me to introduce the
go for
first one? Great. So we had Julia Childress, also known as Aluge. I believe I'm saying that correctly. She just joined Team Infused, and I'm not sure if you guys know who this is. I don't know if John wants to throw up the article or not, but anyways, she's from the Vancouver area. She was the first female to play on an MLG main stage. She's Canadian. She used to play on Check 6, and she was saying how ever since she left Check 6, she was looking for someone who shared her game ideals, like where she wants to go, her direction, and she feels Infused is the perfect place for her. So all the best to her. Hopefully she can, and there she is on stream. So if you guys don't know the name, there's the face, and now you know the name. But yeah, all the best to her. Always awesome to hear about Canadian talent.
I had the chance to meet her at MLG Columbus when she played on the main stage against Lucira, and we met her at a dubstep bar afterwards with Machine and Pain User and a couple other guys from Check 6.
It's a dubstep bar.
It's like an American thing. It was weird. It was real weird. It hurt my chest to be in there. It was filled with like 17-year-old. Anyways, long story short, she was really awesome and was really open to talk about StarCraft and her kind of streaming schedule and everything in general. And her stream's actually really good, and she plays with some other pretty high-caliber Canadian people. So definitely check out her stream.
Awesome.
I think it's twitch.tv/Aluge or AlugeSC. But you can check her out. You can find her on Facebook as well. All the details are there. The other big news, Scarlet is just dominating the world right now. I know CombatEx kind of touched on it earlier, but she beat Hero.
But
Yep, yeah, she beat Hero. She so in her group, so she was in group E, I think it was. I'm just trying to find the document so I can give you guys the real numbers. So Scarlet, she won 2-0 in her round robin, and she only dropped one match, and that one match was against Hero. She 2-0'd Slivko, and then she 2-1 Hero. So I mean, she's not just doing it on little stages now. She's like she's beating the top of the top. So she's in the winners bracket for her group, and so good on her. And Hero ended up going through as well, but through the losers bracket.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah, that's just proving, like, as Combat's fan, I think we've noticed as well that she is definitely one of the top caliber players in the world.
Yeah, the real deal. And hopefully she can keep the steam going, keep the Canadians in the winners bracket. Man, it'd be amazing to see her win it all. Wouldn't that be something incredible?
Have another All Canada like standing ovation.
I'd just do it in my room alone, watching it, just stand in there.
We'll all do it together. Everyone on Twitch will do it. Actually, so speaking, I had a chance to watch some of these RSL games, and there was only one English stream, and it was on. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Imba TV. You guys ever watch that?
Time to time, I've seen like a couple of YouTube videos from them. What was that?
I only watch EsportsCanada TV.
Sorry,
that's where I get all of my content.
Sorry, that's right. Well, anyways, in the off time, when I accidentally clicked on the wrong link, I went to Imba
Oh, it
TV,
was an accident.
and
Okay.
they had this host MC Duffs, and I was thinking he seemed really unprofessional on the stream. Like he was, I don't know what he was smoking, but he had a pipe and there was lots of smoke. And whenever they would go to break, he would do this like the old Windows Media Player screensaver thing, like the thing
Yeah.
that would get all formed and morphed. That when you're high, you really enjoy watching this stuff. So he turned that on, and he had the biggest grin on his face. I swear he was smoking like hash or weed or something, and. I just thought to myself, like, he's just setting esports back so far because people are going to look at this giant bearded man, and he was wearing like this. I think it was a Hellion helmet, like the Hellions wear that like leather strap helmet, and he had the big goggles
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
and he had this giant beard, and he's smoking hash, and he's like,
No.
tripping
I've
out.
seen that guy. I've seen that guy. That's just straight up shisha out of a hookah.
Oh,
Oh,
He's
shisha?
not. He's not
okay.
smoking. Yeah, that's all it is.
Oh,
I've
he's
seen
just
that.
faking it.
Yep.
well,
So I
okay.
guess this bottle of vodka is okay.
So
then.
Narc Frank can lay off for 2 minutes.
I don't know, dude. When I was watching, I'm like, whoa.
He's
this
got
guy
kids, man.
really
He's got to watch
professional.
out.
Yeah, that guy's
Watch out.
super metal. He's awesome though. I've watched that stream a bunch. He's good.
Yeah, well, he seemed a lot of fun, but that's all I had to say about him. I guess the last thing we can end with is,
How about
unless you
some
guys
hot reform stuff, right?
well, we don't have too
I
much
think
time.
we should. Yeah, we need
Oh.
to save that till next week. There's too much to cover, and maybe there'll be a patch by then too. And
Yeah, we'll wait until
Yeah, I
Warhounds
you're
to be nerfed.
until
and we can actually
Warhounds are
talk
the
about it
only
without
units.
crying. Maybe we'll get a Terran player to fill this fourth box. Good one, not a chance. Not
High
do
five.
that ever.
Yeah.
I just high five myself.
I guess
Sad.
the one other thing we wanted to touch on was Stefano signing with EG.
Yeah.
I'm
finally
still on the
confirmed.
fence. I don't know if it's for sure. I don't believe. I don't believe.
It was all.
Well, you have to wait until tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's the day when they announce everything. Like Tuesday's confirmation day, I think I read.
Okay.
Tomorrow they're supposed to have a game against Team Liquid, so I guess if he's
That
on the
would make
roster,
sense.
then we'll find out.
I don't
It's
know.
gonna
There
be
was
like
just
a
that picture
surprise
floating
thing.
around of him in like the white golf shirt that looked like the SK Gaming shirts that like MC SK Gaming, and it just looked identical to that.
Ooh.
But who knows? Happy birthday to Perplexed in the chat. It's his birthday. Good
Oh,
job,
yeah, happy
Perplexed, if
birthday.
you're watching. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see about EG Stefano, but I'm still wondering. He's definitely going to EG though. We'll see. If it's not Stefano, then it's gonna be probably Frank.
It's enough, Nick. Oh
You're
my
not
god.
singing. Wow,
That was terrible.
That was the worst. You're getting. I'm gonna start the show next week with a waffle on your head.
No, I said I was just saying happy birthday.
No, there'll be no happy birthdays. All right, guys,
Guys,
we
guys,
are out of time for today. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you again to CombatEx for that interview. I hope that kind of shone some more light on his current situation and maybe gave some of the haters more fuel or shut them up. So we'll have to wait and see. But he was a great guy for doing that, and he was great at NASL as well. And my girlfriend just joined the chat, and that's my cue to leave. So I've been John Quinn at Quinn in the Net on Twitter, BSG Toaster. You
Thanks,
can find me
Sarah.
on BattleNet. Joined by my co-hosts, ESC Jovian. That's for your cue to say bye, Frank.
Oh, see you later, guys. Sorry, I didn't know John was totally controlling everything like a Gemini. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Wow. And say
Just tell
goodbye
me
to
when
your
to
screen
talk,
reader.
John. Just tell me when to talk.
Oh my! I hate this show. There won't be a show next week, probably, because I'll have just killed everyone. And my other lovely, even better co-host, tied for third, ESC Songers, Nick Songers. Thank you, everyone. You
All
can
right.
follow us on Twitter at esports_Canada, on Facebook, facebook.com/esportscanada. We are out.